Syndra and Jace especially could just take some of those squishy members on the side of Liv Sandbox and just pop them like a balloon. So it'll be interesting to see how the side of Liv Sandbox does handle it. I do agree with you. I think the top lane is going to be a lot of focus there, and especially because we saw Rich overextending a lot in the Kespa Cup. So maybe trying to take advantage of that could be their win condition tonight.
Completely agree. I think a lot of pressure on Kroko in this game. In the early game, he is going to have to make some plays. He is going to have to be aggressive. That's what he's so famous for so early on in his career, for those who watched Kespa Cup, especially on the Olaf. So I think the pressure is on this young, new player, first time in the LCK, up against veteran Peanut in the jungle. If he can make some plays, I think they absolutely can win this early game.
For sure. So guys, let's hop into game number 1 right now. Here we are for match 3. Nongshim Red Force up against Liv Sandbox. And these teams have already butted heads 4 times here with the new roster changes. First, we're not going to hold the top lane counter pick. And Effort goes ahead and picks Leona anyway.
And Nara's been picked a lot early, as we do see actually a nice hook here.
Oh man. Well, Effort's dead. Just like that,
Master
first
curse.
blood. That's going to be yeah. I mean, that's just like, oh man. Effort.
He has
yeah.
He has you know, safe mid lane matchups and farm on the spectrum, you know, on his
CS going to be missed there. Notice the top lane, that gap is also widening pretty largely as they're going to go for the root here onto Effort. Another hook going to come in. The flash available, but they're just trying to trade it back onto Kellen, who does take a ton of damage, but again, up into the top lane as Rich will look to take an aggressive trade, but that might just mean his doom, as there is really nowhere for him to run. Just going to be taken down as Kroko takes that kill. And
immediately Drake and push this bot turret. So it's a better trade for them overall. In terms of the gold, obviously it's fairly even. They actually don't even get that last bit of the turret in the top lane. So
don't change it, as Kellen has to be careful here. That's going to be a pretty late blade coming out there from the Leona, but he's dead, it looks like, anyway, as Duckdom, though, trying to come in with the big carry. He's got that crescendum rolling, as Kellen is going to survive as well. Fate jumping in there, trying to make something happen at the end of that
push
one.
In, make a pick happen, punish anything. And they're not so far behind in gold where it's just not fightable. Like, they have to be decisive here. Look for a pick, look for an engage, and finally they are now.
Yeah, well, they've got Meganar, so they say, okay, let's charge in, see what we can get going. Meganar times out, and already, you know, the one-item power spike is coming in here as, okay, there's my stream back again. The Rift Herald is going to go down, as you may need to take over, Wolf. My stream's having a little bit of...
All right, well, we're going to see Rich isolated here on the side. He's stunned up, is going to continue to engage and does a bunch of damage there. Effort has to run away. Summit just barely able to escape over the wall, and nobody dying on the side of Liv Sandbox here. Bay is down, but everyone's so low health that this is still a 3v3 fight now around the Herald. And we'll, you know, Will Smike, what's he gonna do? It's just so risky to actually commit. As Duckdom is like, yeah, so while you guys are being indecisive, another turret, by the way.
Yeah,
just gonna grab some
third turret of the game.
Yep.
Okay, Ragnarok coming out here a bit late, but again, they're just setting up a concave and saying, okay, I dare you to try to take the Mountain Drake. They're going to take a ton of damage from that mountain, and of course the poke that comes in, and another Drake is going to go the way of Nongshim, so they're one away from the Mountain Soul. Yep, this is the big one. They kind of just have to win this fight, otherwise they're going to be in trouble. Effort takes about 30% of his health already from the Mountain Drake, so not the best start, but here we go. We'll see how the poke comes in. You see that a Shock Blast on the Summit isn't going to do too much. They got to hit that squishy backline. They'd love to hit Fate and Root if possible. As aggro on the Drake goes back to the side of Nongshim. Gonna leash here just a bit. Hook gonna sail wide. As Root Gale forces the stun that comes out. Okay, a sleep here onto Peanut could be huge. There's that burst I was talking about, and that's gonna give control of the pit over to the side of Liv Sandbox. Able to lock down that Mountain Drake. And more poke coming out here. Fate literally trying to single-handedly carry his team back into the game, as Effort now going to get that engaged down onto Bay. And they do chase them off the objective. So you see there almost 4,000 damage coming out from Fate as he just single-handedly pokes.
It's very low, right? And I mean, even with the amount of range that Nongshim has, bullet time isn't that useful. They're again vision control of this Drake, and they're just trying to rush it down with the clear time they have, and they're probably gonna get it.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get this one here. Smited down by Peanut, and all of a sudden, Root gets caught out. This is messy. For the side of Liv Sandbox, over the wall comes Rich. That's going to be another one of them poked out from the get-go here. So now 5-on-3 with Baron buff. And Nongshim, you know, they were struggling a little bit after losing that last team fight. They want to make a big movement here and try to close this game out. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to end it, but they want to get a insurmountable lead, perhaps.
Kellen's just added more of these to his turret collection this game. He grabs another one on his way to this inhibitor. Isn't able to get the inhibitor turrets. Kellen's going deep!
Kellen trying to add some more Pog votes if he didn't already have enough. Although, did they just overextend here? Nice flight once again coming in. Effort desperately trying to get in there and do it, but not able to do too much. They're at least able to get the one kill as the stun comes out and pushes Summit away, as he will get away. So the Baron still on the majority of the members here of Nongshim, and they get this inhibitor at 30 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I'm going to grab this Scuttle, set up for Drake vision control, which is, again, so important. Well, I say that, it's actually stolen away. Or is it? Yeah, it's stolen away. I was pretty sure Croco actually nailed that. That's actually huge, because, again, that last fight, as we're going to take a look at this Baron rush down, and box placement's really nice here. Just not much you could do, unfortunately. It feels like the walls were closing in on Liv Sandbox. They saw Baron disappear before their eyes, and then they just decided to kind of go for it because they didn't want to give up another objective. This is insane.
I mean, he was reading that from the back. Like he knew the portal jump was coming in. You have to pre-fire that death sentence essentially to make sure that that one does land. And at the end of the day, you could see that Summit flashes forward for that kill, and there were no objectives after that, you know?
Yeah.
And now he doesn't have his flash for the way more important fight here over this Mountain Drake that's about to spawn.
At least they got the Scuttle, so we can see a little bit more control from Fate again, because he has long-range vision to do that damage to proc Horizon Focus. But still, I mean, look at the way the team is cut in half right now. Effort is struggling to do anything. All the orbs are just on top of him.
Yeah, and that's a pretty little cooldown at this point. We'll see if he can get it back later on in the fight. That's going to be the kill going to actually Duck Dom on the side of Nongshim here, as I don't know what that solar flare was. Now Effort is just going to have to flash away. In goes Croco, is able to get a huge Gore Drinker stack there, but even the bullet time not really able to do much. Summit coming in here, and everybody on the side of Liv Sandbox just filtering in one by one. This is not what you... As the rest of the members super low, and it looks like Nongshim might just look for the end now.
Yeah, it looks like this is just going to be a good old GG at the end of this game. No light at the end of the tunnel anymore for Liv Sandbox. Even after that one incredible fight from Fate, there is just simply no way out. Too indecisive. Nongshim again out-rotating, out-macroing with this Aphelios pick, getting tons of turret plates early. Very impressive macro game once again.
Absolutely. Kind of see how it all went down here, and it was a pretty, you know, steady linear graph there on the gold difference. There was that big fight towards the end, and yeah, once again, just a pretty straightforward one there. The most damage actually going to the Jace, as those accelerated shock blasts were
continually crash into the Alistar and get those shield trades. So I think this is going to be a pretty safe bot lane where Duck Dom and Kellen are going to have to play passively. Kellen may roam a lot to the mid lane to try to get picks. If so, he's trying to poke Silas out in that mid lane. But I really do like the early to mid game for Nongshim Red Forest. I think if we go to the late game, things can change quite a lot, especially with Aura's itemization when Samira's items are finished. But it's going to be, I think, really about the jungle matchup again. I mean, this is a jungle meta, right? The matchups are fairly stable, otherwise across the board. So what does Peanut accomplish here? Right now, Olaf is crushing Graves across the board. When this matchup does happen, Graves still winless in the LCK. So I do lean towards Nongshim.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it does come down, guys. It's game number 2 of Match 3 here. Liv Sandbox up against Nongshim Red Force. We'll start right now. This is way in, and nobody's actually going to die here, and this is this mid-priority. Fate going to come down here and be annoying, but we'll see if he can actually get anything done from this.
The biggest winner is Bay right now. We could actually take a breath.
Ooh, Fate's going really aggressive here. Krako finally comes in. Was it just a bait all the time? Yes, it was. First Blood comes in as my cat jumps on the desk, and Duckdom might be jumping down as well. That's going to be 2 kills to the side of Liv's Sandbox as they totally destroy them there down on that roam from the mid lane priority.
Bay, you know how this continues. Is Effort once again going to be aggressive?
Oh man, Duckdom here with no summoners gets popped on, but actually Effort is the one that overextends, and now he's going to get burst down, but Root hitting level 6 and doing insane damage to Kellen there, showing that huge team fighting ability from the Samira. Knockup coming down onto the Gnar. Bay has to flash away, actually avoids the collateral damage, but at the same time, Peanut coming in here says, well, I'm just going to go forward. I have to get this Rift Herald anyway. Going to be looking for the kill onto the Zoe. Does not come through. So actually in the mid lane and also the jungle, as Krako was helping out down there, but a nice lockdown onto Effort. He gets caught here as opening up from the backside is the Jhin. They're going to lock him down. And now coming in pretty late here is Fate, trying to bait for the rest of his team to come in, and will he be able to do so again? Yes, he will, as Fate comes in, but actually gets booped down by Rich, who will pick up the kill, but now Root getting into the fight, trying to build up to that S-Class, and there he is going to build up to it, but now trying to pick up that kill onto the Rel. He will finally do it, as Rich will go down to the side of Root, and Root will come down and try to finish off Peanut and should be able to double kill.
It's hard to explain without showing you where he's trying to stand there and who he's trying to link with.
Yeah.
I think Peanut in this case.
This is not looking too good. 2v5. Duckdom trying to turn it on to Root, see what he can get done. You can see Kellen desperately trying to sacrifice his life in hopes of saving Duckdom, or at least buying some time as one final shot, and that's going to be an extra
charge as well. And this is Nongshim on the map. They're just always out-rotating their opponents and trying to trade better. This is a bad spot to be.
Not again. They're going to get caught here underneath their turret, as that's going to be another kill onto the Jhin.
Might be more because his turret's dead.
Yeah, Kellen's just going to die too. He's going to try to flash and make it over to Bay, but that was really desperate. He was never getting out there, and now, after a fantastic game 1, he's just been bullied in this game, 0-5, whereas the enemy's Samira has 5 of those kills. As now they're looking to trade here onto Rich. Doesn't look like he, he realized this was coming. He was desperately trying to make Shrek'd in the bottom lane. You got to try to mix things up and go for a different lane. As I say that, though, they are going to be looking for a dive onto Summit as the Ragnarok comes in here. Bay taking a lot of damage early on. Do they have the damage to burst through Ornn? Yes, they do. So a nice little trade back from the side of...
Let me look at what he's capable of doing here, even with just one minion wave. Look at the vision control they're taking away from Nongshim now. Suddenly, Zoe looks like an insanely powerful pick, given the situation. He's got a little bit of extra mobility here with that pickup, too.
Oh, Nongshim trying to get in here and force it with the Mega Gnar. Can they try to burst down this Ornn before he gets anything done? Does get the triple knockup, does the Ornn, but he does go down. Rich, rather, trying to boop some heads into the wall, but Rich is going to go down, and now there's not much of a front line to the side of Nongshim as, oh man, Duckdom just immediately gets one-tapped on the backside.
He's like, wait, I forgot about you?
Yeah, oh! Get in the later stages of the game. I mean, they are so massively stacked right now, as Peanut is seemingly alone, but actually he does have Kellen coming in, Duckdom trying to help out, Teleport coming in from Bay, but with the flash coming out, okay, Bay is actually going for this. He is going to use that Alistar ultimate and just,
just jumping the gun a little bit
yeah.
there. I mean, the thing is, like, they were cut in half. Nongshim but they still were able to reconsolidate with that teleport coming in from Bay, and the idea was there, but unfortunately the execution a little bit weak.
Yeah, now they're just getting burst down underneath the turrets. The Samira goes in, and you can see that Rich is desperate to get a flank and actually kills the Zoe somehow. So nicely done, I suppose, but he is a bit alone, as everybody else in his backline is just being shred to pieces here, as he'll just have to slink away, looking to try to trade a little bit with the Krako, but
he's got a bit of a reputation recently for engaging at a pretty aggressive angle.
Well, Nongshim, the one good thing about them is that, they're not just going to sit back and die. They will go down fighting. And that's exactly what they're trying to do here. They want to go for the fight. They're looking for the Ornn again. They're going to deny that ultimate coming in here, but do they have the damage as Root is going to get another kill and immediately just shreds that front line down. Doesn't really look like Nongshim have a chance in this one at all, as the Cloud Drake going to be...
There's just no way for Nongshim to try to cut through this jungle here, especially without vision control, to stop this. So this should just be a free inhibitor, and Nongshim's like pushing mid indecisively and now backing to try to hope to defend the base.
Peanut's like, just wait up, guys. I'm gonna take this inner turret. Don't worry, I'll be there eventually. As the Ornn ultimate gonna knock up Kellen as he just disappears again. And man, there are just so many super fed members on the side of Live Sandbox at this point in time. Rich trying to get it done. The Silas goes 100-0 in about 0.3 seconds, as that's going to be a double kill over to the side of Root. And again, like I said, you know, Nongshim at least make it fun. They're not going to go down without a fight, but at the end of the day, they did die 28 times. And that is going to be the win, going to the side of Live Sandbox, as they will tie up the series.
Yeah, very much a different Zoe game here for 20.1K. Nearly tripling the damage that we saw from Silas, unfortunately. Bay having a really tough time in the laning phase. His rotations, unfortunately, were obviously late because of it. Hubris with that rel pick in game 2, but this is already not where you want to be. You don't want to take this 2-1, and if you lose this game, this team is dropping down in everybody's power rankings right now, so this is an extremely important game to win for Nongshim right now.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not too impressed by the draft. I mean, it's NAR where it's like, okay, I understand. It seems to be working in scrims, but it's not working so far in the LCK. And you just look on the side, they flex the Jace instead of the Renekton. They have insane amounts of poke and range in their lineup. It's like, if they get ahead and they get 1-2 items, I'm not really sure what the side of Nongshim Red Force will be able to do. But let's take a look, guys. We're going to jump into game number 3 as we do move on to the Rift once again. And let's see who is going to take
Croco going to push up here to look for something, and then as Rich plays safe, he's going to look for this Rift Herald.
He's dead. Yeah, just like that. First blood gonna go the way of Summit. Why again?
Yeah.
Why is there so much priority when the Jace is available and you're playing against Summit?
I mean, look at just the auto attacks coming through here for Summit. Just straight up. He W's, and then he just goes right for the accelerated shock blast there. And
that's what I would imagine. This team is probably saying, okay, we gotta back. We gotta get these items because we have a big fight coming in here. And Peanut just gonna get taunted up. Big knockup coming from Kellen, but the two of them are just out on a life raft, and they're going to be sunk right here. Double kill goes the way of Summit, who is 3-0 already in this game.
I feel like perhaps that was the time where they needed to be aggressive. Croco's, speaking of which, going to step over the line.
Hey, this is a nice little play. Croco, though, is going to be able to get away. Effort saving his nice, beautifully. But there it is. Bay finally pops off with a massive scatter the weak. He gets 3 kills, and here comes Summit. He's angry. Gets the 1, but that is a pretty clean ace, as extending very deep into the jungle there. Thank you, Omen, of course, for the sponsorship of the ace, but at the same time, man, they just used that one fell swoop.
And just getting too overzealous. So Nongshim finding their way into a team fight they didn't even necessarily need.
Well, I guess Skellen is dead.
Okay.
You know, so Jace is still and let's see how this one's gonna go. Peanut trying to get on top of Summit. They find him on the bottom side, and that's a nice amount of damage onto Croco as well. That Unbreakable Will in the backside doing some work as Bay, oh, they may have overextended here, as opening up is the Jhin. No more Unbreakable Will, and the siege turret that is Fate over the wall right now is huge, as finally that Alistair is going to go down. Summit looking for those accelerated shock blasts over the wall. And that was almost it for Nongshim. You know, they almost just had the damage to take out Summit, but at the end of the day, just not able to extend far enough and get the kills they needed.
And that's, I think, the idea there for Nongshim is...
I love Jonas Strong, man. He's showing us all the important stuff. A dead Syndra on the ground, as it looks like some damage done at the blue buff, as now Rich is just caught here. He is surviving for quite a while. There doesn't seem to be too much damage.
Giving the numbers advantage over to Live Sandbox, and they're just chipping away.
Yeah, we'll see what they can get done here. Some opening up coming out from the Jhin. The True Shot Barrage actually misses there on the backside, and Noshim actually being given a lot of respect as they just come in and take it down. They're going to look to burst down the Jhin, and they will be able to, in fact. So a nice little pick there. Now Effort going to be totally caught on the backside. Peanut incredibly tanky, and actually fighting front to back here is Live Sandbox. Just the scraps being picked off the ground one by one, and now Noshim have made their way back in the game.
Yeah, and you could see how the composition of Live Sandbox falls apart like a house of cards. One by one, like dominoes almost, once the first pick
gave up a lot of their power and positioning in that one, and Kellen was able to find a beautiful opening there. So
yeah,
it was a really big team fight win for Noshim, and they found a way to actually come back in this game.
And when you lose control of the map, it's a lot more difficult to team fight with Zoe. It's a lot more difficult to actually get that damage done consistently, especially when waves are pushing down your base. Like, you can't even poke anybody because the minions are in the way. You're struggling to find value, and DuckDom just stole his way back into this game by collecting minions. He's got a huge gold lead, as you pointed out earlier. They just want to end the game right now.
Yeah, I don't know if they can. I mean, there's a nice amount of wave clear on the side of Live Sandbox. Obviously, Baron is going to try to help them on the push for Noshim, but we'll see what they can do here. You can see Effort, the one frontliner. He's going to get a taunt onto Peanut, but that's not enough. One turret is going to go down. Effort's getting chunked out here. DuckDom is just going wild on the front line, and it looks like Noshim just opened it up here, and they are going to take the win in a very close Game 3. 10-7 at 30 minutes.
That honor you can give at the end of the game, as we do see the Nexus fall here. We jump into post-game that's like tilt-proof, stayed cool, or whatever. I feel like that's DuckDom's game here. He played extremely safely, despite being down. Even, we criticize him even for not pushing down that extra turret plate, but he went back to buy an item. He just always played safe, never really let the game snowball away from him. He was always able to be relevant.